Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. Guys, welcome back to Up and Adam Channel 2. I don't know if you caught our hot messy topics today with Ashley. It was so good. And Shannon Bedore last night was on Watch What Happens Live. We will obviously mention a few of the things in case you missed it, but then also you guys remember all of the Love Hotel drama. So Love Hotel hasn't come out yet. That's what the name is supposedly going to be. It was Luann, Shannon, Giselle, Ashley Darby, and they spent 3 weeks together in Mexico for this dating show hosted by Joel Kim Booster. Well, Joel had a lot to say about Shannon, and now he is issuing another statement. But Luann also chimed into the conversation. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and let's jump right in.
We do it like we do it.
Okay, guys. So before we get right into this, I do want to say that he did, Joel, issue an apology. But before I get to the apology, this is what was said. Thank you to Reality Blurb. Luann de Lesseps addressed Shannon Bedore's drama with Love Hotel host Joel Kim Booster while appearing on Thursday's episode of Melissa Gorga's podcast. She also shared her thoughts on the new cast members of The Real Housewives of New York and weighed in on the future of New Jersey. But Luann revealed that Joel offered an apology to the cast of the Peacock series after slamming Shannon Bedore on Instagram earlier this month, labeling her a pathetic drunk and accusing her of mistreating the crew. Ay, ay, ay. She said, I didn't notice that at all. So it must have been kind of, I don't know, on the sidebar, because I didn't see any of that. I didn't see Shannon treating anybody illy. Okay. It was obviously something very personal to Joel that he got offended and then kind of lashed out and then went, oh shit, what did I do? But after Joel deleted the harsh post against Shannon, Luann said he offered an apology to the cast. She said, he apologized to all of us because it affects all of us. I think he made a mistake for sure. And I feel bad for Shannon because I'm sure she was hurt by it. And he mentioned her children. Here's the thing too. It's like Ramona Singer. Ramona Singer has a bad rep for going out and about, and when she sees people and people are like, oh my God, Ramona, can I get a picture of you or with you? And blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, get away. I don't know you. Like, get away from me. Kind of very standoffish. A lot of housewives, even Dolores Catania, a lot of housewives have said she is a nightmare to be around. And at the end of the day, what you have to remember, and I don't know, I wasn't there with Shannon, but what you have to remember is that the production, the crew, the people you're working with, the people who are working so hard and leaving their families behind to put these shows together, they're just as much a part of this as you are. Without them, you wouldn't have the show. So you have to remember that everybody is like a different piece of the engine, and you need all of the pieces to make the car work, and that's just it. I don't know why I'm on such an analogy like rant lately, but I am. But we're not done. I mean, we're never done. So, moving on to the Real Housewives of New York cast, Luann said that she didn't know them all. She said, I like Erin Leachy. I like Uba. I know Bryn Whitfield. The other girls I don't know well at all. But when Melissa Gorga then asked Luann how she thought producers would proceed with season 15 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, she suspected a partial recasting was impending. I would say that they would keep their cast members that work and add a couple of newbies, change up the potion. It's not the love potion right now. And Melissa said, no, it's not. It's the hate potion. It's a very dark potion. And Luann also said, the world is dark enough without having to watch a show that feels very dark and heavy. So hopefully they will meld the cast. And I think that's something that New York could have done, but now it's a little late to the party. So it's not too late for you guys, though. I was just saying this too on Hot Messy Topics. I hope in future seasons of Roni, maybe they'll add an OG 1 or 2 here and there, just like into the mix. But I don't know how that's going to pan out. Now, speaking of Shannon, before we get to Joel Kim Booster's apology, she was on Watch What Happens Live last night, and everybody wants to know about the John Jansen of it all. Well, with asking about John Jansen, of course, when you're in legal, You're going through a lawsuit. It's a lot more difficult to answer everything, I believe. But for Shannon, she was asked, like, so what is the status of this lawsuit with John Jansen? And she was like, well, the status is that we have come to some sort of agreement. And what I want to say is John Jansen is agreeing to let me pay him the 75,000. I believe they're going to sign the mutual non-disparagements, but his attorney requested that Shannon release a public statement acknowledging what a gracious and kind and great man John Jansen is. I asked you guys in the poll on Up and Atom, and right now there's like 1,000 votes. And I just looked at it. I said, John Jansen agrees to settle with Shannon only if she issues a public announcement on his behalf. Do you think this is petty on John's part, or do you agree with what he's asking for? 5% right now say, I agree with John, and 95% says leave Shannon alone. This did not work out the way that John Jansen and Alexis Bellino might have hoped. But let's move on. Thank you to Bravo by Gaze for sharing this. Joel Kim Booster issues apology to Shannon Bedore. Here we go. Read the housewives of it all. I've had a lot of time to think and process about this, and I wish I could say that I was not the guy who posted those statements on Instagram. But the fact is that I am. I let an onset conflict cloud my judgment and accuse the darkest, ugliest part of myself, access the darkest, ugliest part of myself, and said things that I don't stand by or even believe. And I'm deeply sorry that I allowed my worst self to cloud my judgment. Okay, next part. I know Shannon has had an extraordinarily hard year, as she has bravely shared, and as someone who has struggles of their own that have spilled over into work, I should have had more grace for her in that moment. I'm deeply sorry for the ways in which I've made Shannon's road towards stability more difficult, and hope that she makes it out to the other side of this stronger, healthier, and with the love that she deserves in her life. I regret making this a part of the story of our show, as I'm deeply proud of the work myself, the ladies, and the crew put into making it. Okay. This is what I'm going to say. For Joel Kim Booster, I'm not mad at him. You know, like when he said, I hope she suffers, that's that, yes. But a lot of people don't process their words before they send them out, say them, post them, text them. A lot of people are very impulsive. And sometimes, even if you're not a naturally impulsive person, you can get pushed to the point of saying things that are on your mind. And that's why they have that saying of like, say it, regret it, like read it, write it, rip it, whatever. And then if you say it, you're going to regret it. This was just one of those moments. Do I think that this defines him as like any part of his career? No, I don't. I don't think it defines him in any part of his career. Do I think that they'll have him on if there's another Love Hotel as the host after this? I would imagine that's probably a no, but I want to hear what you guys think. I also don't want to get anybody fired, but I do want to hear your opinion. So maybe I'll make this into the next poll. Guys, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And we'll be back next week. Everyone's always asking me. Hot Messy Topics on Monday. Wednesday is going to be Real Housewives of New York. Thursday is going to be Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. These are the lives. And then Friday will be Hot Messy Topics. So we'll see you then. Love you guys.